Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Motorsport Manager with the Phoenix Knights Racing Team. Here we are, it's the penultimate race of the season. We're in Brazil for race number 15, Rio de Janeiro. And before we dive on in, just a quick chinwag about Sundin's replacement, because at the back end of the last session I did say that I would scout and shortlist some drivers perhaps for your sort of perusal, welcome your thoughts. I've done that, but I've also gone a step further and I've actually offered a contract. So here were the potential candidates, and I'll go through them one by one. We've got Lucia Flores, who was marketability on the low side, but very good all-round stats. Cost per race wasn't extortionate. Cost to break contract wasn't extortionate. 4.5 star with the potential to be a 5-star driver. The only bad thing was she wasn't actually interested in joining. Then we move to this chappie, or rather this lady. 4.5 star with potential of 5. Good all-round stats, high marketability with a poor smoothness, which we've seen how that can be detrimental. The thing that put me off her was the cost per race was far too high. And we couldn't offer her anything less than this, otherwise she wouldn't accept it. Then we turn to the current drivers on the grid, and out of all of them, Rick de Graaf was the one that fit the bill the best. High marketability. Good all-round stats, very good all-round stats, potential to improve even. And his cost per race wasn't high either. We'd have to offer a bit extra on top of this, I would have thought, but ultimately, not massively extortionate. Good qualifier, as we've seen. So he would really give Sirikov a big run for his money. And he was almost the person that I was going to sign, until I found the person that I've offered the contract to. And bear with me on this one. It's Lisandro Cruz. As you will see here, he's 4-star. He's actually 4 and a bit star. He's going to lose this extra -2 to his focus. That runs out next week, the addictive personality trait. So he'll effectively have 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 19 and 18 there, with a low fitness and a very low braking. Fair enough, he's got a slight weakness, but overall, on the whole, an improvement on Sundin. We have a decent brakes R&D facility now, so that might improve. If that goes up to 9, you know, that would be pretty decent. Fitness, we know how that affects drivers, but it's not the worst stat to have on the low side. I wouldn't have thought. So all in all, I was very happy with the stats. The potential's there. His marketability is similar to Sundin's as well, so not massively a problem. The big plus for this guy was the fact that he was, of course, a pay driver, which means that we're not going to really break the bank in signing him in terms of his cost per race. And the clincher is the fact that he's happy to pay the entire cost to break his current contract. So we're not really footing any bill here by offering him a contract. We're barely going to be footing any bill to pay him per race because of his paid driver status. So all of those factors combined lead me to think that this guy is the best that we've got in terms of the costings and in terms of his overall ability. He's not going to be the worst driver on the grid. He's actually a little bit better than Sundin at the moment. So, you know, it's not a massive leap forward, but it's not a step backward. And all in all, we're going to be in a sound financial position. So we've offered the contract for him already. We'll see what happens upon the conclusion of the next race. But this could be our new driver, our replacement for Sundin, Lisandro Cruz. Speaking of the race weekend, it's relatively warm. The tyre wear is medium. We've got some soft tyres. It's only 17 laps, and I've rather shot myself in the foot with the old sponsorship deal, because 10th or above was fine at the first half of this season, but as you've seen in the past couple of races, getting 10th or above is getting more difficult as our car is being outdeveloped by our rivals. So this could be a tough ask, shall we say. But 762 seems like a reasonable spread of tyres. So as per usual, join me for qualifying. Okay, so practice has been completed and we are ready for qualifying. Can we crack the top 10 and get our £200,000 bonus? I'm not holding my breath, but you never know. Right, ultra soft tyres and qualifying trim for both drivers, of course, in what could be Sundin's last race for Phoenix Knights. Could be her last race. Can she make it a good one? Let's hope so, as we simulate the session and find out. First of all, can we qualify in the top 10? It's going to be a push. It really is. 11th and 12th. We're not far off, but just a little bit more. Just a little bit more effort. Come on, guys. A little bit more. Oh! Oh! Pipped at the post. Oh! Damn and blastation. I thought we did it. Sirikov was in there right until the death. Ay, never mind. Okay, so he missed out by 0.04 of a second. Isn't it so frustrating when you're so close? 0.04 of a second away from 200 grand. Can you imagine that? Just absolutely gut-wrenching. But not too bad. 11th and 13th. A better qualifying than we experienced in, was it Australia? Where we didn't have a great showing. So we seem to be back on the pace here, which is nice to see. Back on the pace. Back mixing it up with the Windsors and Katanos. Let's see how the race will pan out. So tyre wear isn't going to be the problem for today's race. The problem for today's race is actually going to be the tyre heating. Temperatures are warm and going to get a little bit warmer, and the ultra softs, they heat up very quickly. So I'm just wondering, what on earth do we want to do here? It is going to be 6 lap stints, 2 6s and a 5 in fact. Now ultra softs are not a problem. We can make these work quite happily in terms of the number of laps, but I'm worried about the tyre heating. If we push on these, the temperatures are going to go through the roof. So do we go on a harder compound and push them harder for a little bit longer, or do we stick with these tyres? Because everybody else is going to be on the same tyre. I think we'll play it safe. With Sundin, we're going to bring her in early. We're going to do 5 laps because her tyre wear is a little bit more aggressive. And we're going to stick her on the ultras, I think. I think we'll just go with the ultras here. And for Sirikov, he's going to go with the ultras, but he's going to do 6 laps for his first stint. And that should be that. So for knowledge, it'll be the same as qualifying, which is ultra soft plus the necessary trim. And in terms of the driver strategies, I'm actually going to go push rather than attack because I am concerned for the tyre heating. So, fingers crossed, this is Sundin's final race. Can she make it into the points on her swan song? Let's pray, let's keep our fingers crossed, and we're going to do all we can to ensure that it happens. Here is the grid. Balcazar qualifies in pole, out qualifying Steinman for the first time in a little while by my reckoning, but she is on very high form. Becker gets second in the Steinman, Espinosa third, Fischer is in fourth with Chapman in fifth. Potential signing there, De Graaf qualifying in sixth. I mean, the way he rags this car around is unbelievable. He could really have taken our car to new heights, I suppose, but sometimes it's about business and money talks. Sylvander is in seventh with Matthias de Wolf in eighth, Veracruz ninth, and Lipponen in 10th. Windsor Racing are slipping behind Kitano, it seems. And we are in 11th and 13th, split in the middle by a Risotto Corsa of another potential signing, Lucia Flores. So we're on the grid, the lights are gone, and we're about to get racing here. We're off, and it's a reasonable start by Sundin, although her own teammate has blocked her off, which is very, very considerate, considering it's her last race. He could have let her by. But she doesn't need to be let by because she makes a pass. She's up into 11th with Sundin, with Sirikov, sorry, slipping back to 14th position. Not good viewing, it must be said. He's going to have to now make his way back up through the field, and we've seen already this season how difficult our drivers have found it passing our opponents. And Sundin is just beginning to go a little bit backwards. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put him on push here. Tyre temperatures are not too high at the moment, and the temperatures are at the lowest they're going to be all day. So we're going to put him on attack, which is maybe what we should have done from the start. We've slipped back to 15th and 17th in what is an absolutely catastrophic first lap, it must be said. Absolutely catastrophic. And we know how our pit stops aren't the best. So we're going to find this race very difficult, and we'll be lucky if we get any points at all. But we'll keep on trucking. Although Lipponen is finding himself on a used set of tyres, it looks like. Either that or he's locked up. This is... what's going on here? What's going on, guys? Seriously, we're going backwards. This is not indicative of our qualifying pace. Right, 3 more laps for Sundin to do. The tyres are overheating now as well, which is a bit of a bummer. This was what I was worried about. But the tyre wear situation shouldn't be an issue because there's plenty of life in these things. Sundin moving up into 14th. She is battling hard with Blanc. It looks like Blanc was going to make a move up the inside, but doesn't quite get there, but he's trying again. Sundin finding it pretty tricky here. Right, just got to keep an eye on the old fuel situation. It's, I think, was it high fuel burn here? And she's going to have to go medium now, as is Surikov for a couple of laps, which is not going to be ideal. 13th, looking to push up into 12th here. She's on the back of Lipponen, whose tyres are about to give up very surely. Risato Corsas are doing a very good job, currently in 9th and 11th. That is the reason we're not in the points, because they're having a pretty good race. Right, Sundin is coming into her pits for the first stop after this lap. So let's see how much fuel she has when she crosses the line. I don't think she's going to have that much fuel to be able to push. And her tyres are going off quickly, but not a problem. She's coming in to change them. So we're going to pit her in, put on another set of ultras, and we're going to give her now a... She has to do 2 6s, doesn't she? So full fuel, and off she goes. Pushing now on her in-lap. Surikov just in 15th, tootling along, not having a good time of it. Sundin's form is on an 8, and she is all over the back of these guys. She is not taking any prisoners. She's up into 11th. Keep on going. Final race of the season for Sundin. She probably knows it, and she is giving it her all. Her tyres are now in the red, but that's not going to stop her. That's not going to stop her. It's not going to stop this woman. She is on her mission to pick up points today. Here she comes, and she's in the pits. And Sirikov's gone past, and his tyres probably can't take much more, actually. So he will do a second 6-lap stint, and his last stint will be the shorter one. Have I changed the tyres? Yep, change the tyres, put the fuel in, good to go. Everything looks a-okay in the pit stop for Sundin. No, the fuel, no! That's the one thing that you don't need to make a mistake on, is the flipping fuel. You bleeders. Right, everybody appears to be pitting here on this lap. A lot of tyres screaming out for help. I'm beginning to think a set of super softs might have been actually the better choice here, because the ultras have worn out pretty quickly. Should we have gone on supers? Should we have gone on supers? Potentially. We may. Oh, look at this. Line of Stern in the pits here. Can we get this one right at least? Yes, we can. Right, we're out there. We're out of there. We're out of there and racing. But Sundin, despite her mistake in the pits, is still ahead of Sirikov. And she's still looking relatively pacey. We'll follow her. See how she gets on. Doing a sterling job at the moment, but she has to pass Schmidt, who is on the harder compound tyre. Can she do it? She's harassing him. Should we give her an extra boost? She has to do 5 laps. No, she doesn't. I think actually, no, we can push her a little bit longer here. She has to do 4 laps after this one, not 5, so 4 laps after this one. So she's got enough fuel, plenty of fuel. Yeah, see, we can't push the tyres because of the fact that they overheat so quickly. I mean, we should have gone on the super softs rather than the ultras, I think. Sirikov just dawdling around. Points could still be on the card for Sundin. She's really going to have to push. We'll give her full engine mode now. She's complaining about being stuck behind Schmidt, but we'll give her full engine mode and she's made good use of it. She's now passed him, setting her sights on Zoe Sharp, who we know is a good driver. What the hell? What in the God's earth? The engine is knackered already. We've barely done half the distance of the race. Oh my God, I don't even think we're going to finish this race. The engine is kaputskis. Well, I think we're a little bit screwed. We can't push the tyres because of the heat, and we can't push the engine because it's knackered. So, all in all, I think we're in a bit of a pickle between a rock and a hard place, and points today are going to be a minor miracle. So Sundin has one more lap now to do before she comes in for her second and final pit stop. We're going to put the harder tyre on and see if we can maybe make a difference with some pushing here of the actual tyres rather than the engine. We're going to have to do something. 30%, and there's still an entire stint left to do. This is unbelievable. I don't know how the engine has worn down so quickly. We haven't weight stripped it any more than normal. It must just be a very, very high engine wear track. The tyres are beginning to go off. Right, in she comes. Pit Sirikov, and we'll do the same with him, I think. It's almost like a double or bust situation. Oh, a mistake with the fuel again. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Two mistakes with the refueling. I mean, unbelievable. Utterly unbelievable. Completely screwed her race up massively. Right, we're coming round now for Sirikov's second and final stop. We'll see where he comes out after this. It's not going to be pretty. Sundin is way behind due to the error in the pits. And she's now behind her teammate, is she? Yep, she is. Through no fault of her own. 15th and 16th with only one more person left to pit ahead of us, which is Blanc, so we're really not going to get much better than this. This has been an absolutely catastrophic race. We're going to put it up to 2 speed just simply because there's not really much going to happen here. I can't see us doing anything majorly exciting from this point forward. We will maintain a push with the tyres. They are going to get hot, obviously, but the tyre wear situation shouldn't be a major problem. We do pass Blanc in the pits, which means we move up to 14th and 15th. Such lofty heights. Thankfully, the engine looks like it probably is going to last. Maybe, maybe not. Possibly not. I say that, and just as I say that, he gets a warning. I don't think he's going to make it. Neither she. Oh, this is absolutely such a painful race. Two laps to go after this one. Will their engines last? It's 13% for Sirikov. 2 people are in the pits actually. Must be 3 stopping here. Makes no difference to us though. They've got out ahead of us. Sirikov, his engine 9%, 11%. Couple of parts are looking rough, he's saying. I agree, but let's just keep going and pray. Let's just keep going. You never know what can happen. Right, here we are. Final lap. Are we going to make it in one piece? Last few corners. Sundin's tyres are just as good as her engine. Given the mistakes in the pits, she's not finished a country mile behind her teammate. So all in all, her team let her down, and not exactly the swan song that we were hoping for. So there we have it. The Brazilian GP was a bit of a car crash. Fischer wins the race for Steinman. Chapman up in second. Vera Cruz in third for Windsor with De Graaf in fourth for Caetano. Balcazar in fifth with De Wolf in sixth. Sylvander in seventh. Espinosa eighth. Look at that. Risato Corsa having a bit of a decent race. 9th and 10th. Double points finish. Very rare occurrence for them, I think. Very rare indeed. Right, we did not get our sponsor objective in either the qualifying or the race, which kind of sucks. Okay, but not to worry. We shall check out the championships at the end of the next race. We have more important matters to attend to, and that is determining whether or not we are going to have a new driver for the final race of the season. Sundin 34, she's had her time, she's been an absolute staunch ally of the team. She's driven for the team for several years now. She's done her job. She's won a championship for the team. She's provided some excellent races, some excellent entertainment with her battles with Valdez. We should remember her efforts as they were in her glory days and not as they have turned into, which is nothing more than being outperformed several times. We're going to start accepting these interviews now because you never know. They may boost us in some way or hinder our opponents. What's your analysis of Becker? Okay, well what this will do is this will obviously butter him up, but we don't need to butter him up. We could say that their team looks weak. Okay, that'll be the best one. Yeah, buttered up. Fine. Pit crew review. 2 mistakes from the same person. I should sack him. No good. No good dog. Right. Car repair finished. It looks like our rear wing is soon to finish. The final scouting is done. We knew she wasn't going to be good enough anyway. And we can get a new sponsor. Let's get this wing sorted first of all. Right, so the car. We're still improving the parts. The brakes, the engine, and the gearbox. That will be the order of the day until the close of the season. See how good we can get them. They are improving pretty nicely. Look at that. Look at that. We're in the green there. We're above average there. Above average for the suspension. These two will be our weakest parts next season, but they're better than they were this season. And we're getting a couple of rear wings before the season finishes, so this might end up there as well. I've got some high hopes for next season. I'm telling you now. Let's hope that I don't aim too high. Right, we need actual outright performance. 1268, 1278, 1328, 1318, 1278. Right, 1328 is best. 3 hours before the next race, this part will be built and ready. Could well be the last part we build this season. Okay. So the parts are ready. Let's keep moving. Contract proposal. Let's have a look. Uh-oh. Renegotiation. Renegotiation, it says. Okay. Oh, he's not happy with that. Look at that. He used 2 patiences. 2 patiences. Right. Everything here he's happy with. He's delighted with absolutely everything apart from his wages. We're going to offer him the max wages. This is... I don't want to risk ticking him off any further. And his sponsors are paying £800,000 for his services. So we're only going to pay £400,000, which is, I think, a little bit less than we're paying Sundin. So we're going to be roughly in the same position financially as we are now. And we're getting a little bit of a better driver. Of course, we're paying a signing on fee. So... shouldn't be an issue. So, new proposal. Is that going to come in before the race or not? New rear wing. Let's take a look at it. Not that makes much of a difference because we're not going to use it, but 1278. It's a slight improvement on what we have. 3 sponsors are available, and we're going to go for the one that offers us the most money. That's 100,000 a race. 183,000 per race over 6. This actually is worth more over 7 races than that is over 6. So we'll go with that one. It's only a 2-star sponsor. I mean, goodness me. What are we working with here? We need some better high marketability drivers, don't we, really? Okay, so where are we? Contracts running down. Ooh, really? We can't afford these guys to be... So he's currently being paid 260. So let's see if we can just click it down and see if we can take a pay cut here. We're going to offer him a pay cut. You know, these are hard times. We're focusing on our development of our car and we can't be throwing money away willy-nilly. So take a slight pay cut, will you? That's your reward. Who else? Maxine Solder, race mechanic. We were happy with her services. She's being paid a relatively small amount compared to her colleagues. 69,000? How's 67? Slight pay cut again. There we go. Have a bite of that cherry. One day to the next race, which means we're not going to find out. I've done it! I've done it! I've done it! Oh, we're not going to find out until after the final race of the season. So, yes, the final race of the season is upon us. Our rear wing is built. That was quick, just before the race. We're not going to design any more parts now. And look at that! In fact, if we design another one, it might jump even further. Let's go, let's go, let's go! Can we build this before the end of the season? Let's have a look. 1268, 1278, 1328, 1388. 13 days after the race. The risk is I don't know when the season finishes. And if this is not built in time, but it's only 900 grand and it's quite a big jump. It's actually an extra 60 performance points. Quite a big jump. So we're going to build that part. We're going to build that part and we're going to enjoy it. Because if we build it, this is going to be right up there, alongside our suspension, alongside our acceleration, our top speed is getting up there. If this is the kind of stats we have starting next season, we're going to certainly be challenging those Catano Windsors at the very least. This car's come on very nicely this season. Must admit. Right, we are done. We are done. I believe we are done. Yes, we are. So join me in the next session for the final race of the season in Dubai, where we will say goodbye to Sundin officially, and it's only nice and fitting that she gets to finish the entire season. We will hopefully design our final part of the season, and then we will make those pre-season preparations and see how good our car really is. And of course, fingers crossed, we'll get our new driver. Till then, see you soon.